Ooh, huh. Baby girl, she a flex, shut down, lay it and she next, woo. Everything that she do, she slay it down, ain't nothing new, yeah, huh. She's a bomb queen, every time I'm undone dream.
You are now tuning in to Blue Media.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm here today, Lynn Bit. I do a bit of everything. Again, I'm wearing the Bit store. We make a bit of everything because everyone needs a bit of something. I'm here today with New York's finest, Mr. Ruthless. Why don't you introduce yourself?
What's the word? It's DJ Ruthless, Far Rock America. What's good? What's going on? Shout out to Blue Media. You already know we outside.
Shout out. And a little cheers for the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers, Blue Media.
Cheers to Blue Media.
Cheers to the
You already
conversation.
outside, baby. Shit like a triple shot.
Yeah, I was like, that's a sip kind of beverage for today, I guess.
Word, shit got me activated.
Ooh. So you've been in New York your whole life?
Hell yeah, born and raised.
And you feel home here?
Yeah, most definitely. You know, I travel like out the country sometimes and, you know, or out of state. But when I come back home and I smell that pollution, that shit slap. That shit slap.
Fresh New York City air.
Hell yeah. Smell everything, all the aromas kicking.
Just lets you know you're home.
Hell yeah.
There's certain classic New York things that people maybe outside of New York know New Yorkers for, like maybe like the bagels or, you know, some stereotypical things.
Hell yeah,
that,
bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yeah, you resonate with things
favorite,
like that?
Like, I could eat that shit every day religiously.
Oh, I like to ask true New York locals if these things are actually true. Because I'm like, you know, just coming here, I'm like,
That's
I
the thing,
hear
though,
about
like,
it, but...
Word. About, like, the delis and shit, like, you could go over there and eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
Like, word to every true New Yorker knows that. Oh, God. You could go in the morning, get your bacon, egg, and cheese. Even on your lunch break, whatever it is you're doing, all right, bet, let me go get a turkey sandwich now. Or I could go get a beef patty. Whatever it is,
Right.
you got it.
Right.
You got it.
Classic deli.
Word. If you know, you know. Oh, God.
And so what brings you here today, obviously, is your career path.
Most definitely.
Tell us a little bit about what you do.
So I'm a DJ. You know, I'm a touring DJ, a show DJ, also be in the clubs. I'm getting into throwing my own events now and things like that. So,
Okay.
you know, I don't really want to stay in one area. I do want to eventually become like a radio DJ. And I see there's a lot of like old heads that's in the stations these days. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a lot of old heads. Like, no disrespect or nothing. Like, shout out to DJ 𝐑𝐋𝐄𝐒, DJ 𝐑𝐔𝐓, you know, all the like pioneers in the DJ game. But, you know, eventually, with all due respect, eventually.
Successors, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. So.
You're like,
You know
put me
what I'm
in,
saying?
coach.
Yeah, exactly. Put me in, coach. Let me get some burn, for real.
Yeah, no, that's what's up.
Yeah.
I think for me, when I think of DJ, I think of like club DJ, you know what I mean? I don't necessarily think of all of the different avenues that DJs are used in, you know what I mean, that you guys are able to make way. So what are kind of like your favorite DJ scenes that you're in?
I'm not gonna lie, the touring. The touring definitely got it for me right now. That shit got me in a full Nelson. Like, I love going on tour, whether it's in the city or out of the city. I love to just go on tour and feel the stage, you know what I mean? And sharing the stage with artists, too, is another thing that I get, like, high off of.
Yeah, that's what I was
You know
going to
what I'm
ask.
saying? Just controlling the whole crowd and bringing the energy on stage alongside artists, whether they're big artists, small artists, independent, signed, whatever it is, you know, like... You know, a lot of artists out there that's probably watching this, you know what I'm saying, I've DJ'd for them.
Okay,
You know, for their performances and things like that. So I think, you know, it kind of started off a little small, you know, with just doing like local showcases and things like that. Shout out to like all the promoters putting on for the artists too, that booked me for those shows and things like that. I think that's where it really started for real. Like, for real, it started with the artists.
Yeah, it has to start somewhere. When you're on tour with these different artists, is there a lot that goes into like your preparation part of it? Like,
most definitely. I think it's more like a collaborative kind of thing because, you know, anybody could just go on stage with an artist and press play.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's another thing to enhance the performance, which is, I feel like that's my job as a touring DJ is to like enhance the performance and really make it pop more. Like for example, I seen Rolling Loud 4-1's performance. Shout out to DJ 𝐑𝐔𝐒𝐒, you heard? He's their DJ, and like I saw their whole performance, and I don't feel like their whole performance would not have been the same without him. You know what I mean? So that's the importance of a DJ when it comes down to collaborating with these artists, for sure.
Have you felt like there are any specific examples in which you were really able to do that?
Yeah, definitely. Like the introductions, you know what I'm saying? Knowing when to cut out certain lyrics, let the crowd sing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like crowd
true.
engagement. I think that's another big thing that I look for personally, like with artists,
right.
And, you know, sharing the stage with them. So, yeah, I think it's definitely an experience.
For sure.
For sure. It's an experience. And, you know, a lot of DJs also don't do that either, you know, and a lot of DJs do. But that's not all I'm, you know, dabbling into. Like I said, I want to start throwing my own events and things like that. You know, I don't want to keep waiting for the phone call to go to work.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I want to create like my own work and hire people,
right,
and create a team and things like that. So that's definitely what the lane that I'm about to swerve into, for sure.
Okay. And you feel like with the experience that you have of already doing it for so long that you know kind of like what is going to need to go into the perfect vibe curation.
Absolutely. This is actually my 10th year DJing.
Congrats.
I started DJing when I was 15. I'm 25 now.
What did you start DJing at 15?
Why?
Or what? Like, what kind of gigs were you getting at 15?
I wasn't really getting gigs, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. I was a bedroom DJ.
Okay.
Like, every day after school, sophomore year, I remember. Shout out to my brother-in-law, too, because he's the one that really put me on to, like, the whole DJing shit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Underground Sounds. And he put me on to DJing. And ever since, once I touched those ones and twos, like, it was up.
Connected.
It was up, yeah, for sure. I ain't
That's
never
what's
looked
up.
back. There's been a lot of ups and downs, too, with it, though.
Of course.
Hiatuses and this and that and the third, but for those people that went to high school with me and shit like that, like,
they know.
They know for sure. They know for sure.
What do you think, event-wise, is going to be your first move? Like, do you have something planned soon that we can tell the people about to look out for?
Hell yeah. I got Drunk and Nasty coming up.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to 𝐑𝐔𝐒𝐒 too, because that's another DJ that I'm doing this with. I've known her for many years. And now we finally coming together and creating something ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because for so long, I've been like I said, waiting for the phone calls and shit like that. And, you know, I'm fortunate enough to, like, receive those phone calls. But, you know, there are slow days. There's rainy days. You know, I'm not about to sit here and fake it till I make it or whatever. Like, there are rainy days and things like that. That's something a lot of people don't really embrace. You know, it's like the slow days and what you do with that time and things like that to be productive. For sure.
Yeah. You said that you've had a couple like breaks, a couple hiatuses. Is there something in particular that keeps drawing you back to DJing, or is it really just a passion?
Definitely. Discipline, consistency, imposter syndrome. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Imposter syndrome is definitely a big one. You know, my hard drive has broken countless times with so much music on there, and it could be really discouraging too, especially like when you're first starting off. For all the DJs that want to start off, or artists or producers, whatever you are, entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying? Don't get discouraged because you're not getting those calls right away. You know, don't compare yourself to other people either, because, you know, like in the end, like you're really just in competition with yourself. So,
right.
Yeah.
And what you have to offer.
Hell yeah.
For sure. Let's talk a little bit more about the journey. You said 15, you know, you were stuck on it every day after school.
Yeah, every day after school, I would come home, fuck homework, fuck projects, fuck going outside. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just in my room just fucking that shit up, like teaching myself for real. Because, like, my brother-in-law, like, he taught me, like, what the buttons do. But, like, when it come down to, like, technique and, you know what I'm saying, like, the science behind it and all of that, you know what I'm saying, it just come with experience and fucking up. And, you know, I done embarrassed myself mad times.
Yeah. Comes with the tree.
Yeah, for sure. You know, there's a lot of bumps on the road. You just got to take the punches and roll with it, honestly.
What's one of the first paid gigs that you booked, that was that, and did that feel like, okay, yeah, like this is where I want to go, or was it like a little intimidating?
My first booking, actually, I didn't even get paid for it.
Okay. Very real in this industry.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I had to do a lot of free work in the beginning stages of my career, which I wouldn't even really consider a career because I didn't really start taking it serious till about like 2 years ago, honestly. But anytime before that, I was just doing it for fun, because my family always told me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've always heard my whole life that DJing is just a hobby. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. So, like, for me, like, the thought of making it my profession just was never crossed my mind, for real. Like, because my dreams were shot before it was even possible to dream about it, for real. So it didn't really kick in, though, for real, until, like, I want to say I was probably, like, 20. 20. Like, I was 20 years old. I was 5 years in, you know what I'm saying? I was listening to a lot of other DJs. And then that's when I really realized how versatile I am, for real, because for me, like, I grew up with my pops listening to, like, the 80s rock, pop, R&B, and things like that. And then my mom would really listen to, like, because I'm Honduran, and, they listen to, like, a lot of punta and, you know what I'm saying, all types of shit like that. So, I grew up in a very diverse household. I grew up in the Bronx, too, for a few years. I was born in the Bronx. So I was listening to a lot of, like, the 2000s reggaeton, and, like, Daddy Yankee was popping at the time. Daddy Yankee was fucking shit up. A lot of reggaeton artists was blowing up crazy. So I was really raised in that influence. Then when I, moved out to Far Rock, and, I heard about Stack Bundles and Jim Jones and Bird Gang, and, you know what I'm saying, all those people running New York, Dipset, The Lox, G Unit, you know what I'm saying? And I was really influenced by all that, Kanye. Yeah. And, you know what I'm saying? So I took all of this in, and, little did I know at the time, though, like, this is my shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Being well-rounded. And then, in my teenage years, my sister got married. And, her husband is Guyanese, my brother-in-law. So, then that's when, like, a lot of, like, the Caribbean influence came into my life. And I feel like that just created the perfect recipe for me to be able to thrive as DJ Ruthless.
Right. Because you feel connected to all the different genres in different ways.
Hit every avenue, every block. That's come down to music. You'd be surprised. A lot of people look at me and they're just like, what?
You're like, what?
You're like, what you know about this? Yeah, definitely. But, that's part of the craft is, like, just going out of your way and finding new shit to listen to, which is why DJs are so important in this world of music.
Because you guys are the messengers.
We break the music, exactly. Yeah. We break the music, for real.
Has there been anyone that you, like, maybe admired or that you listened to a lot growing up that you've been able to work with through DJing?
Oh, yeah, definitely. When I was at high school, I was probably in, like, 9th or 10th grade. And I heard about this rapper named Dave East.
Shouts out.
And, yeah, shout out to Dave East, for real. I heard about this rapper, Dave East. My man's put me on. He was like, yo, bro, you got to listen to his mixtape, Black Roses. So I tapped it. I'm like, nah. What? This music is different, bro. Like, what? Like, we finally got hip-hop is back. Because at the time, for real, when I was in, like, high school and shit, Lil Yachty, Lil Uzi, they was all on Freshman XXL, 21 Savage. Actually, Dave East was in that year, in that class of Freshman XXL and G Herbo and things like that. So, just listening to Dave East, his music got me through a lot of hard times in my early life, for real. I'm not gonna lie. So it's actually why it's a full circle moment for me to be able to, like, work with him closely and share the stage with him, and going out of town. You know what I'm saying? It's just
no, that's awesome.
It's crazy, for real, because that's definitely, like, if you know, like, that's one of my favorite rappers, for real. Like, it's one of my favorite artists. So it's definitely a full circle moment, and that just showed me, like, this is for me, for real.
Yeah, wow, that's awesome. So that you not only put in that work, but that,
100%.
That's kind of like that's definitely a make it feeling.
Yeah, definitely. Even other artists like Young Devin, Dice Peso, Jim Jones, like there's a lot of other artists that I don't work with, King Streets, Devi, you know, the list goes on. I've worked with many artists, and I'm appreciative of every opportunity that I've gotten, and you know, I want to take that and move forward in my life, and you know, like I said, create my own journey in a sense, for real.
For sure, for sure. Is there something that you're like looking forward to having at your own events? Like you're like, you know, this is missing from the DJ scene, but it's gonna not be missing from my shows.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like this is a little controversial for me because, you know, like when I go to a lot of other parties and shit, like, and only DJs know this, so it's hard to enjoy parties when you're not DJing. And it's not no hating shit. Word to my mother, it's not no hating shit. It's just, you know what I'm saying? I can't explain it.
You're just like,
I can't explain it.
This better. It's cool. It's cool.
I can't explain it. You know what I'm saying? That's like when you're an artist, right? And you go into a showcase and you're hearing other artists. It's like you unconsciously comparing yourself without even realizing it sometimes. So, you know, and it's just, I guess it's like a level of maturity where you got to realize, like, you got to stop comparing yourself to other people and just
That's why
do
that
what's
phrase
for you.
exists. That
Exactly.
comparison is the thief of joy.
Exactly. So, you know, I try to stay away from that shit as much as possible. Because like I said, imposter syndrome be kicking in. You know what I'm saying? And it's just not fun when you just start thinking about shit like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Your brain starts working against you. Like,
Yeah,
I thought we were having a
that
good
ass.
time. What's going on?
Get in your own head. But all jokes aside, though, like, you know, when I do go to, like, other parties and then because, like, I haven't really thrown that much events myself. So right now it's just, like what Meek said, like, scared money don't make no money. Feel me? And at the same time, I don't really want to do showcases right now, too, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, there is a lot of money in that, but I'm not really in it, like, for the money all the way. I am, because at the end of the day, that's my livelihood.
Right.
But that's not what drives me. So, like, you know, I just want to create a party vibe, like, where you're not going to not hear one genre. You're going to hear everything. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, like, I like I said, I go to a lot of parties and, like, I don't hear reggaeton being mixed with reggae music or dancehall music or soca music. You know, I'm always just hearing, like, either hip-hop and Caribbean music or, you know what I'm saying, Spanish music.
And that's how
some
people get
soca.
to know the clubs.
Yeah, it's
They'll
so
be like, oh
divided.
yeah, this club plays this kind of music this day of the week. So, and they choose where they want to go based on what music they want to hear.
Exactly. And I want to have...
Combine it
I want to
all.
open my doors to everybody. Old people, young people, white, black, fat, short, Spanish. I mean, it don't matter. Like, you know what I'm
If you
saying?
like good music, this
I
is
just
gonna
like
be the
good
place
music.
to
You know what I'm
be.
saying? I want when people come home from work and they want to go out and have a good and safe time, you know what I'm saying? I want them to think about DJ Ruthless events, for sure.
Just respect.
Yeah, bro, because a lot of people go through shit every day. You can see somebody walking the dog across the street, and then that person's thinking the worst things that they could think of in their mind, and you know what I'm saying? So, like, when you're at a party and you see all these people gathered together, none of that shit matters. All of those stresses, and I'm sure a lot of people could vouch for this, all of those stresses, you could have cried this morning, now you at the club lit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just enjoying yourself. So that's really what drives me, for real. And I want to create a different experience. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
That's epic. Yeah. So there's definitely a lot of good energy just that goes around those spaces,
Hell
like you
yeah.
said, of people just ready to release their inhibitions
Hell yeah,
and
just come
get
through,
the
let
stress off
loose.
their shoulders. So I think that's really awesome that you're gonna create a place where, you know, the diversity that is in the people here is also going to be in a
Right.
space of music.
Right.
So
And we in New York. Like,
for sure.
I could go outside right now and see, like, all different types of people. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, this is New York. This is the Big Apple. This is what we about. For real.
For sure, for sure. You seem to have a pretty positive perspective, though, on everything. Like,
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? All that negativity shit, I be knocking that shit out. Like,
no, that's
You know what I'm
good.
saying?
That's good to have. That's good to have.
Oh,
To share with the people who are watching what's something that you do to keep that.
like, keep what?
The positivity, the positive mind state, positive perspective.
The pressure, because there is no option. There's no other option for me. I done went to college. I done went to trade school to become an electrician. I went to a vocational school to be a sound engineer. Shout out to the engineer. And guess what? I dropped out of all of those shits. Sound engineering is actually some shit I'm into.
Right.
And it's just...
The schooling for
I just couldn't do it.
wasn't-
You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's a lot of things I know I can do. And I don't feel like schooling is really for me. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I just gotta hustle out here.
Well, there's definitely different ways of learning. Like,
Yeah, hell
in
yeah.
school, I feel like they're teaching us out of a book, but I've always definitely been more of a hands-on learner.
Oh, hell
like,
yeah, for
you
sure.
can tell me that stove is hot, but my first thought is, well, what's hot to you? Well, maybe my hot is different than your. I kind of want to touch it. You know what I mean? I've always been that kind of person. So school, even though I was good at like test taking and like getting good grades, like you said, out of necessity, it wasn't something that resonated with me either.
100%.
You know what I mean? Sitting trying to read out of a book, my thinking process is, how am I going to use this?
It comes with a lot of pressure too. Like, you know, my family's concerned. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, in the past, like, you know, their concern was security and things like that. You know, a lot of these jobs offer a sense of some type of security, I guess, with like 401ks and, you know, all this and that and the third, pensions and shit like that. So that's why it's just like, my parents didn't do it like out of malintention of like shooting me down. But it's just more so of like a genuine concern, like how are you gonna like take care of your family? Because I do have a son as well, so you know, like that's one of the biggest things that drive me. I want my son to have the flyest kicks, flyest clothes, smell good, look good. You know what I mean? And the price that I gotta pay for that is hard work.
Respect.
That's it, hard work.
And I can just touching back real quick, going through all these different schoolings that you're going through, especially like you said for DJing, messing with music, with the soundboards and whatnot. If you'd already been doing that since 16, I can imagine that it was even more difficult to sit down and try and like do like the tedious parts, of the schoolwork where you're like, I already know this stuff. How can I advance forward? But I see clearly, that motivated you to step outside of the school system and do that yourself regardless. So
my experience
hard work is always rewarded.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And my experiences with work too, because I was also working. I did have a 9-to-5, a steady 9-to-5 for about 4 to 5 years. You know what I'm saying? From when I was like 18 to like 23. You know what I'm saying? I worked at a jewelry store. I was a manager at a jewelry store. And you know what I'm saying? And I still was barely making ends meet. And then on top of that, I had a higher up on my ass, basically trying to get me fired, like trying to make me quit. You know what I'm saying? Once he came along and
Work drama.
He cut my hours, you know what I'm saying? I done been through it, you feel me? He cut my hours. I was working like 40 hours a week. All of a sudden now I'm working 20, if I'm lucky.
Right.
So just the thought of like somebody having that type of dictatorship on my livelihood, like stop playing with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Stop fucking playing with me.
Right,
like,
especially with
this is my money. Like I'm a family
what I'm using
man.
to
Like
feed myself and my
stop
kids,
fucking playing with me. So one day I just quit. I quit and then I went to work at Nissan. I got into the argument with the owner there. I never went back. And it's funny because they didn't pay me for like the first month and a half I was working there. Terrible. So how I was paying my bills was DJing. You know what I'm saying? So then that's when somebody had brought it to my attention, like, yo, bro, you been paying your bills as DJing, bro? Like, why don't you just lock in for real? Like, so I just took the opportunity of arguing with the owner and just, you know what I'm saying? Just fuck it.